So we just learned about one-step equations, which it took one operation to solve for the variable. Now we're going to go over two-step, but it's the exact same process. I like to draw my line, and I still look to combine my like terms. I see on the right side still no like terms. I have a constant, and then I have coefficient with a variable. On the left side, I only have one term, nothing to combine or distribute. Now I need to start moving things away from my variable. This is where the SAD MEP comes in. So we look to add or subtract things first here. In this case, I see that I have a positive 3 that I need to get rid of. That's the furthest thing away from the x. So I need to get rid of that first. So in order to get rid of a positive 3 to make it 0, I have to subtract 3. But again, what you do on one side, do to the other. So I have 32 equals 5x. Now there's nothing else to add or subtract, so I'm looking to multiply and divide. I see it's 5 times x. I have to do the opposite to solve, so I divide by 5, and it's keep the equation balanced, to keep each side equal. What you do to one side, you do to the other. 5 divided by 5 is 1, which leaves me with just x. And then I am going to leave that as an improper fraction that does not reduce anymore. Okay, so let's draw our line. Let's look to move things to the other side away from my variable. The furthest thing away from my variable is this negative 43 right there. Minus means negative, remember that. So to undo or to make negative 43 0, I have to add 43. What you do to one side of the line, we do to the other. So I bring this negative x down. Don't forget about that negative. 10.7 plus 43 is 53.7. This is like saying negative 1 times x. To undo multiplication, the opposite of multiplication is division. So I divide each side by negative 1. X equals negative 53.7. So first I'm going to draw my line. There's no like terms on the right of the line or left of the line, nothing to distribute. So now I need to start moving things away from my variable. So this 7 is what's furthest away from the variable, so I need to get rid of that on the left-hand side. To make that positive 7 a 0, I subtract 7. And that is now gone, and I can bring down my 3x. What you do to one side, do to the other. Be careful here. Negative 2 minus 7 gives me negative 9. Don't forget about those negatives. This is why showing your work is so important. Now to undo the multiplication, because it's 3 times x on the left side of the line, I have to divide. I divide by 3, which leaves me with just x. What you do to one side, we do to the other to keep the equation equal and balanced. Negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. And we're done. Draw my line. Nothing to combine on the right or left of the equation or my line. So I need to start moving things over. I see that I have x over 2 plus 5. The first thing I do here is subtract 5 to make that 0, to get rid of that positive 5. What you do to one side, do to the other. Careful with the negatives. Negative 10 minus 5 is negative 15. Now I need to undo this division by multiplying, because multiplication is opposite of division. Remember, you always multiply by the denominator. What you do to one side, you do to the other. By multiplying by the denominator, I get rid of the fraction, and I get what's in the numerator. I get what's in top, because those are inverses of each other. So negative 15 times 2 is negative 30. Be careful, because equations that look like this, completely different process. We still draw our line, but now this up top, these are connected to each other. So the furthest thing away from my x is this divided by 2. So here your first step would be to multiply each side by 2 to get rid of the fraction. And you're left with x plus 5 equals negative 20. Now I need to get rid of that 5. I need to make that 0 by subtracting 5, because the opposite of plus 5 is minus 5. So that's gone. I have x equals a negative 25. So I get different answers there. Be careful and be on the lookout for the differences or between those two equations. So a 22.8-pound cat needs to lose weight. I would say the cat needs to lose weight. So we're going to subtract weight from this cat. The vet's plan allows the cat to lose 0.4 pounds per month. When you see this per right here, per each every, that is going to tell you that 0.4, the number before it, goes with the variable, which is month. So I'm going to put M as my variable for month. How many months, because we need to find months, there's our variable, will the cat weigh 14 pounds? So we want to equal 14. So now we have set up this equation right here, and now we need to work to solve it. So we're going to show our line, right? There's nothing to combine or distribute on either side, so I'm going to subtract 22.8 from each side. Go furthest away from my variable. I have negative 0.4 times m equals negative 8.8. And now I have to get rid of the number in front of the variable. So that is multiplication. By doing so, I divide by 0.4, divide by negative 0.4. We have to divide by a negative to get rid of that number in front, the coefficient. Negative 8.8 divided by negative 0.4 gives me 22. So in 22 weeks, that cat will lose 14, or will weigh 14 pounds. Same process here. Family rents a moving van for $34.99, and then there's this tricky word plus. So we put that plus sign there, and we see this per mile. Remember, per mile tells us that the number in front goes in front of our variable mile. And the bill is in math, I gave it away there, equals, is means equals 148.86. So now that we have our equation set up, it is time to solve. So I go with the number furthest away from my variable here, and I get rid of it. I make it 0. What I do to one side of my equation, I do to the other side of my equation. I'm going to just bring this down because I did nothing to it, so I have to leave that alone. I get 113.96. And now to undo this multiplication on the left-hand side to get the variable by itself, I divide by 59 cents. Divide by 59 cents. And let me get my calculator out. We get 193 miles. All right, so you rake leaves for 2 hours on Saturday and 5 hours on Sunday, and your neighbor pays you $63 in total. How much did you earn per hour? So we want to find the per hour. Okay? We want to find our rate. So you raked for 2 hours, and we want to find out our salary. Rake for 2 hours on Saturday. You rake for 5 hours on Sunday. Okay? So if you charge $15 an hour on Saturday, you made $30 because 2 times 15 is 30. Because our hourly rate per hour is what we're trying to find. So I have like terms right here. So I raked a total of 7 hours times my salary, or how much I charge, equals 63. Divide each side by 7. You charge an hourly rate of $9. So it's $9 per hour is how much you charge to rake leaves. Plumber buys 20 feet of pipe in February and 35 feet of pipe in March. And means plus. He spends a total means equal of 384.45. What is the cost of the pipe per foot? So when you buy pipe per foot, okay, if you got 20 feet, they charge you per foot. And then 35 feet, they charge you per foot. So here we got our line. Now here we get into our combining. See how we can combine these? These are like terms. 20 plus 35 gives me 55 times P, how much the pipe costs per foot. And then we bring this down because there were no like terms on this side. Now 384.45, we have to divide by 55 on each side to get P all by itself. And the store charges $6.99 per foot of pipe.